Childhood obesity is an epidemic that has taken over our country. Since it is a disease that is not looked at seriously and people don't know the deadly risks that can come along with it, people don't think it's a big deal if their child's a little overweight or if their child's not exercising or eating right, but really it could be deadly. I have worked with children for years and I've seen the way this issue has affected their short-term and long-term health and quality of life. So that is why this is a topic that is so important to me. While I'm hoping everyone can learn something from this presentation, I really want to speak directly to parents and educators because they're the ones who are on the front lines with their kids and they have the biggest influence in how they live their lives. I think if they're the ones who are educated on what this disease looks like and how it can be prevented, I think we'll see a decrease in child obesity rates. My hope is that by the end of this, you all have a thorough understanding of what causes childhood obesity, what it can affect, the correlation that it has with families' socioeconomic backgrounds, and the small changes we can make in our households and as a country to prevent this deadly disease. Not a lot of people know this, but the CDC has classified childhood obesity as a gateway disease, which means a child who might be obese has a higher chance of developing much more serious diseases such as type 2 diabetes, joint damage, heart disease, and even some forms of cancer. But obesity doesn't just affect a child's physical body, it also can affect their social development and how they view themselves and interact with other people. In other studies, it has been proven that overweight and obese children have a higher chance of depression and getting picked on and having low self-esteem, and no child deserves to live like that. So I think it's our job to do what we can to prevent that. In a study done by the University of Michigan Health Science System, they found a correlation between low-income families and childhood obesity. For some obscene reason, it is cheaper for a family to buy a bag of chips than it is a vegetable. And so when you're looking at a family who's on a really tight budget, it makes sense for them to buy the bag of chips because it is, one, a lot cheaper, and two, it can go a lot farther. And so the vegetable really isn't a good option, even though it's healthier. For their budget, it's really not best for their family. I think as a nation, it is really important we come together and we look for ways to either make food stamps more available so families have this option. Even if they can't afford it, they can still apply for food stamps and get these healthy meals, or we find a way to make fresh produce a lot cheaper. Like I said, I think everyone deserves that opportunity and the choice to eat healthy and take care of their bodies. Like I said earlier, teachers and parents have the biggest influence in a child's life, so when they have the right tools and information, I think they're our best weapon to fight against childhood obesity. I also think it is beneficial to incorporate a curriculum into our schools that provides a fun, interactive way for students to learn how to eat a clean diet and exercise daily and just take care of themselves. When children have a fun, easy way of doing things, they're more likely to remember it and they're more likely to implement it in their day-to-day lives. And later on in their life, when they become adults, they'll remember what they learned as a child and continue to use those good habits. And they'll even raise their children that way. If they grew up eating their vegetables and eating fresh meals and exercising daily, they'll try to implement that in their children's lives. This is a very real problem in our youth today, And I don't think any child deserves to live an unhealthy lifestyle, especially if it's because of something as trivial as their family's low income or not being able to have those resources like daily exercise or healthy meals. So I've hoped I've informed you about how this disease can have a lasting impact on our children's lives, and I have provoked you to think about what you can do to help fight this deadly disease. Thank you.